Hello, Ian. That's Cliff. Um, I really sympathize with what you're saying there because I've seen it now from both sides. First, my parents had a very nasty divorce when I was getting out of college, and particularly with my mother. Um, and she to this day still hates my father very badly. Um, Still for the very same reasons that she did 30 years ago. And can't mention his name in a sentence without going into some or the other of the things that she, feels unjustly treated about. Um, and naturally assumes that everyone around her feels the same way. Uh, I don't think some of those wounds ever go away because it's between two people that are supposed to love each other to the end of the earth, and then when it breaks apart, it's a breaking apart that maybe is the worst that there is, and it's a rift that it's the wrongest thing there could be. And naturally inside you'd want to blame it on the other person, I think, or at least some people would. And so therefore a lot of stuff ends up in the mix that maybe is unjust, maybe shouldn't be there. Probably the conversation you had with your wife wasn't even really the conversation you were having until she got to the very end of it. When y'all started flaring off at each other, that's probably what you were talking about the whole time. And until then, it was just masked with all the other stuff. But you were probably having that conversation the whole time. Sorry you're having to go through that. So many people do. I unfortunately am heading into the same thing right now. And I've so much wanted to go into it without any of the animosity and everything else because it was just so clear cut. And yet I'm seeing so much behavior that's just not going to lend itself to that. Things are changing daily and not in a good way. Things have happened that I wouldn't have expected. And I've gone from a friendly and cooperative mode to a defensive mode, which I didn't want to be into and don't like. And I'm going to do everything I can not to get into an aggressive mode, which I really don't want to be. But which I find myself facing. And which is ridiculous considering what I'm doing. But that's what seems to happen. I think people get into these things and they lash out. Because instead of being a situation where they get out of and go forward, it becomes a game to see who can hurt the other. And I have no interest in that. I really have no interest in that. Other people have quite an interest in that, unfortunately. And I'm sorry you're stuck in it. I really am. The one thing I can promise you is your daughter's not going to reflect it. Be there every time you can. Don't miss a birthday. Don't miss a Christmas. Because my own children are stepchildren that I inherited. And they had a real problem with their father because he would miss Christmases and he would miss birthdays. And he would go months on end without even a phone call. And it made a difference. Don't do that. And you'll be fine. And you'll have that relationship you want when the time comes. They'll remember and they'll be there for you. Good luck.